Welcome back to the Product Marketing Festival. I hope you're enjoying the content so far. I want to thank you all for joining us and send out an extra special thank you to all our sponsors, partners, speakers and participants who together have made this event possible. Their sessions are bursting with insights to help you level up. But remember, the learning doesn't stop here. If you aren't already, you can become a PMA member and benefit from unlimited access to all this week's content, along with a whole host of other exclusive content and tools. What's more, why not check out Product Marketing Core, our industry-renowned certification? Join hundreds of your PMM peers and get certified today. And remember, have your questions at the ready. Simply post them in the comments section and get awesome advice from our experts. We've got plenty more magic up our sleeves that's guaranteed to blow you away. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the talks.
Hello everyone, welcome to my sharing session. I'm Ray Tao, Managing Director of Product Strategy and Operations at TikTok. I'm responsible for building a long-term product solution with our PMs and setting global go-to-market strategy for TikTok monetization product, which PMM function, as you can imagine, is a very big part of it. In the past couple of years, thanks to our community and user product growth, we reached a lot of milestones for our ads product as well. So while we're excited for the results so far and also get ready to charging forward, I have to say that it's never easy to scale an ad product among the giants today. And especially, there has already been a lot of great ad product out there. So in today's session, I would like to share some of the thoughts and also learnings along our journey, and especially on how PMM is actually contributing to solving this puzzle. Hopefully that is helpful to you. Before we dive in, let's get a quick starting intro for TikTok. TikTok is the home to new generation of storyteller that defining culture and with the content that inspires creativity and engagement. It has quickly become the place to find joy for millions of people across the world, and where users enjoy connecting the brands they love in a very creative way. And here are some of the examples that we have seen really help us to define who we are in the past years. Starting from the wipe it down trend, this is a very good way to show our friends who we are in a very surprising manner. And I do believe this young lady's friend gets surprised a lot when they see this actually the TikTok on a platform. Or having trouble working from home during the pandemic. This actually is my favorite among all, is the boy in the house trend. That definitely helped me to find a lot of laughter during the past 18 months, because working from home is never going to be easy, especially if it's almost for 12 to 18 months at this time. And more importantly, we're also a platform to help our user define who we are and what they care during those social events when it happens. So we're really grateful that the platform is a place for millions of people around the world to engage with us, not only to find those joys and entertainment, but also to define who they are and to really show what they value. So it's very important for us to see that happening from our user product side standpoint. So truly, there is no better place to be real, because realness is a new culture currency on TikTok. So after all these awesome user product side product, what does it mean for TikTok for business? How do we bring more commercial value to our business partners and connecting the dots for them when they actually engage our user on TikTok? What kind of product should we build? And what are the values we're driving? These are all the questions we need to answer. So sounds very familiar, right? Here are some of the guiding principles that we have in place in the TikTok to help us to define and maneuver these questions, and with the goal to scale alongside the giants. The first one is to build an awesome product. No brainer. But before we jump in, let's take a look at this product we call Top View. This will help you to at least understand what we're trying to do here. Well, very nice, right? So this is actually what we call as a top view ad. So it's an open screen format, provides a full immersive experiences for our user when they open our app. Great. So how did we create this product? I think these are 4 guiding principles within the first bullet point here. Number 1, listen to your clients. It's actually very important, and also people may really laugh at me right now. It's like, duh, this is actually what we all do. But in the reality, oftentimes for the past couple of years, even beyond TikTok, what I experienced in the first hand is when we say listen to your customer from the PM side or from the PMM side, oftentimes what we actually deep down is actually listening to what we need for our product. Meaning a lot of times when we have this conversation with a customer, we already know the answer, or we just need to verify our idea with our customer because we feel that they don't understand what we're trying to build. But that's not the reality. Just for example, Top View is actually the brainchild from TikTok and one of our product user or early, I would say, adopter from the business partner standing point. We sit down together, we discuss about the need, we understand what they're really looking for, and they actually have better ideas sometimes than our engineers, our PMs, or even our PMMs do, because they know their user better. They know what they want really well. So in this case, why don't we just give them more control to test it and to really learn from it? So that's the number 1. Listen to your clients, not really just go in there and try to pretend, but actually try to listen and to really thinking about what can they actually bring it to your table. The second one is on the shoulder of giants. When we're thinking about go-to-market, it's actually alongside the giants. But when we're creating product, we should be thinking about how can we creating product on the shoulder of our giants? Because they have already seen a lot of good cases, bad cases already from their experiences. So we always say that we want to learn from the best. We also want to learn from the best mistakes. So in this case, while we're designing product, we always would like to know what happens to our industry peers. What are the things they're creating and how they actually succeed and how they actually fail. These are very important for us as insights. So this is actually also something that gets into the Top View product as well. The number 3 is drive innovations. So drive innovation doesn't really mean that you have to break through, like break something new. Every single thing has to be really like shining in this scenario. Drive innovation oftentimes means drive marginal innovations and also at the same time driving innovations based on your own identity. TikTok is a very different user experiences compared to the other platforms. So when we're creating ad product, we're not really thinking about how can we creating product like Me Too. It's more about how can we creating a very unique product fitting to our own environments. That's the guiding principle from every single product team we're having right now. This is actually the secret sauce is why the user loves us and also at the same time our business partner loves us. Last but not least, the 4th principle here is to fail fast and be nimble. It means oftentimes when we're looking at our product teams or working with our product teams, there was one thing that Brilliant called product roadmap. But oftentimes product roadmaps is actually the box that put us in there and then we didn't know how to deal with it because when there was something new there, we just say no to it. But why don't we just be more open and try different things? And we can really accepting those fast failing moments because at the end of the day, when we try it, we understand what's actually not working. At the end of the day, this all gonna helping us to really achieving to the goals we wanna be there. For example, for people want to go to Times Square, you can get onto the 5th Avenue to go there. You can also go down the 43rd Street to go there. But you should not really always thinking about there's only one way to do so. So that is basically very important as a product manager or as a product marketing manager when you provide those insights to your PMs. Be more open and think more really from a different angle. How can we solve these problems? The next one. Now, let's say we do have a killer product in hands. How do we scale this? A solid go-to-market plan is much needed, but it's always easier said than done, right? So there are 4 questions that, in TikTok, we do value a lot when we create a go-to-market strategy. The number 1 is, does the data tell the story? marketing is not an art. It's actually more towards a science. Now we're in the digital era. It's actually more towards that. So how do you creating a data-driven approach to building a solid testing plan along the way is very important. What does it mean for alpha? What does it really need to get alpha into beta? And how do we actually go to market with a GA profile? So these are all the things that will be driven by a data approach. So it's very critical to understand, does the data tell the story? And also the good part is the data don't lie. And the second one is, can my grandma understand this? It's very important for a PMMs or for the PMs to understand this part, because when you're designing a product, you spend 24/7 vetting there and to understand how you want to build, and everything should be very simple to you. But does it really hold the truth for your customer in this case? So in this case, building something really easy to understand and simplify everything and make sure that your grandma understand it is very important in this case. It certainly doesn't mean that you have to present this to your grandma, but at least as simple as possible should be the guiding principle every one of us we should be bearing in mind when we design a product and design a go-to-market strategy, especially when our seller have multiple products in their hands. How do we actually convince them this is actually the product they want to sell? It's actually very important. So the third piece is the test we always ask ourselves. If I'm the advertiser, will I buy it? Will I test it? This is also very important as well, because this is how you're thinking more like from your customer standing point. You always want to know and always want to understand what does your client's marketing objective is. At the end of the day, they are using this tool to achieving that. So if you put your head into your shoes, are you doing this? Are you actually thinking about it? So these are something I would love to have all the PMMs are thinking about every single day. And then the next part will be, which product is more important? I think this oftentimes striking to us because we do have a ton of product in hands, especially coming from a platform standing point, or even from the other really big organizations. You always have competing priorities, right, in this case. So a really clear plan with an overview of what do you want to achieve across all the product solutions you have. Which one is really the best one, or which one is the biggest bets? These are very important for you to understand, or for you to really bring into your customer or to even your leaders in this case, because only after you have a proper priority setup, you're able to getting the right resources, the right cross-functional partners in the one place, and then go hunt. So get ready to understand the total prioritization, not only for your product, but also with a cross-functional partner to understand the whole suite. That's very, very important. Now, we do have a good product and a very well-planned go-to-market strategy. What's next? Well, people always say culture eats strategy for breakfast. I have to say operations and executions eats strategy as lunch. A well-oiled machine is always critical to scale the product. So the first part is to lay down a clear activation goals by stages. We just talked about go-to-market strategy should have different stages in terms of alpha, beta, GA. But in this case, laying down a very specific goal for each of the stages from different perspectives are very important in this case. For example, when we're thinking about taking an ad product go-to-market, we should not only thinking about how many revenue we're talking about here. It's actually how many customers were able to get on board at the first place, and what's their net promoter score? What's their customer solution score in this case? And the second one is set a proper tracker to track all those activities we just talked about. Because at the end of the day, these are the numbers that are going to guide you through the whole procedure for the go-to-market, and the numbers don't lie. And the third piece is don't be afraid to get your hand dirty. It's actually very important for you to be a part of the go-to-market strategy and being an executor of these. So really deep dive into every single issue, every single questions that your customer asks you. They'll help you to understand how, number one, how can you improve the product? And number two, do they really actually understanding this? Circle back with the grandma question. Are you actually making yourself understandable to every single one from your client's perspective? So these are all the things as a PMM you need to be really understanding from the bottom to the top. Last but not least, aligning with your cross-functional partners on the priorities and support are very important because at the end of the day, it's a new product go to market. A lot of times you are lacking of support. A lot of times you are facing the issues you have never faced before. So getting dedicated support to make sure that when that situation happens, you're covered. These are all the four things running in a circle. As long as you have a good plan, also have a tracker, and especially willing to get your hands dirty, and eventually you will win some of the new customer to your product, and eventually getting the alignment with the priority with the cross-functional partners will be able to achieve your baseline goal and also help you to scale. So these are the well-rounded pieces. After all, we talked a lot about how do we build an awesome product and how do we really thinking about a go-to-market strategy and how do we build a well-oiled machine. But what does it all mean for the PMM? Some of you may already realize actually these are the keywords for PMMs as a function to be successful. So building an awesome product means the product side. Solid go-to-market plan means the marketing side of things. A well-oiled machine means the operation. Operation means the manager, product marketing manager. As a good product marketing manager, these are the three qualities I do hope that every single one of us we're executing every single day. Because a lot of times folks actually running out to me say, Ray, what are you thinking about product marketing manager? What's really the role stands for? And because it's always ambiguity for this role, and sometimes we're helping the PMs, sometimes we're helping the sellers, and sometimes we're helping really operators. But you know what? Actually, you are these three functions in one piece because you need to be really thinking about how can you aligning your personal goal with the goal of the product success. So at the end of the day, my favorite quote is always, people may think about product manager is the CEO of that product. But to me, actually, PMMs are the COO of that product because you are the ones that are going to be aligning the goal with your PMs and make sure that when the awesome product has been created, you will be the one to take it and scale this. These are all the things that we'll be using in the TikTok, and hopefully these are all the things that are going to be helpful to you. And this is all my sharing today. But at the end of the day, once again, I do hope every single PMM bear the minds of the COO to make sure that you're able to align in the goal and to make sure your goals are aligning with not only the product success, but also aligning with the operation success, the marketing success, and also with the product success. With that, that's all my sharing today. Thank you very much for listening, and feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or through other media channels. I'm happy to connect it offline as well. Thank you very much.